and we're working together to strengthen the food system in Rhode Island with perspectives around the environment and the economy. A brief overview. There's plenty of informational materials in the packet that you received this evening, and there's also more information on the welcome table if you want to learn more about it. There's also plenty of people who are members of the council, either the full council or the work groups here. So if you want to raise your hand if you're one of those people. Cool, awesome. So if you're curious or you want to get involved, you can talk to any of those people tonight. After a brief speech from the food bank, we're going to be having a lot of conversations tonight. Tonight's really going to be focused on talking and sharing and learning. You can see the themes on a lot of the tables. There will be 6 different themes that we're going to break out into, and you'll have a chance to talk about 2 of them, or to visit 2 of them. So there will be a rotation at one point throughout the evening. And again, you have information about what the focus of each of the tables will be, so you can take a peek at those.
Wonderful. I want to welcome everyone here. And I have to say, this is the first event where I am a guest at the event, which is very nice. We know we're hosting it, but I didn't have to do the cooking or make any of the flyers. Although when I drove in, I came a little late and I tried to park and someone stopped me and said, "You can't park here." I'm like, really? Anyway, so that's a true story. How many of our members are here this evening joining us? How many Hope and Main members are here? This is wonderful. So you can see that the community of makers is growing at Hope and Main. It's a wonderful community of people that are very devoted to many of the issues that you're exploring here in the Food Policy Council in Food Matters. Hope and Main didn't emerge out of a data-free environment. It wasn't a solution looking for a problem. It really came from the good work that has been done not only by Rhode Island Farm Council, but also places like the Food Policy Council and these kinds of gatherings. So this was a very data-driven project, understanding what we could do to fill certain needs in Rhode Island. And what we can do is somewhat limited by the fact that it's bricks and mortar, and that's a very expensive and ambitious thing to do. But we are trying to play our part in providing this infrastructure for makers, and we think that knowing who makes your food and having the people who make your food care so much about it is really very empowering to the eater. And thank you.
Thank you. My name is Cindy Elder, and I'm the Director of Communications for the Rhode Island Community Food Bank. And how many of you here have actually been to the food bank, the state food bank? Raise your hand. Lots of you. This is so great. And I know that I'm among friends here in part because I recognize half of you from one part of my life or another. And in part because you're all here on common ground. It's an unusual group, I think, because probably most of us here agree on a lot of stuff, right? We're all here because we have this basic sense that our community is stronger when everybody has access to nutritious, wholesome food. And when you think about it, who are we actually talking about? We're talking about children, and I love being in this room because I see blackboards everywhere, and it makes me want to get a piece of chalk and scribble on them, and who knows, maybe that's allowed, I'm not sure. But when you think of blackboards, you think of children. You think of children in school. You think of children working hard to succeed. And can you imagine being a child in school and being hungry, not having the fuel you need in order to succeed? when we talk about a level playing ground for our students, how unfair is it that some children come to school fully fueled up and others don't? I think that's a problem. I think it's a big problem. And it's what every parent wants to do. You know, I know when I meet my kids, when I pick them up at the end of the school day, I am literally holding a granola bar out like this at them, right? They don't even, I don't even want to talk to you until you've eaten this thing, because you're not going to necessarily be civil with me. Granted, they're teenagers, but we all know as parents how critical it is that children get food at regular intervals, right? And if we can't provide that, we as parents feel deeply stressed about this. Maybe, oh, I ate on a SNAP budget for a week. I did it. No problem. I ate really well. Except that perhaps you had a car with gas, you had access to a grocery store right nearby that actually sold fresh fruits and vegetables. You might have had olive oil in your cupboard and salt, pepper, and spices, right? And maybe you had the opportunity to buy something on sale because you could go to the grocery store when you needed to, and not just when someone was able to give you a ride. So there's another part of our community that I really want us to think about. And these are the senior members of our community, the people who've been here the longest, who've actually built our community for us. And I think it is shocking that 20% of the people that we serve at the food bank, and we serve 63,000 people every single month through our statewide network of food pantries. 20% of the people we serve are 60 years old or older. And I think that as, you know, there's a solution. That's what I put on my pledge card. I'm going to advocate for breakfast as part of the school day. It's not a groundbreaking change. It's a simple solution. And it would mean that more children eat breakfast. I think that's a good idea. So I challenge each and every one of you as you're at your tables and as you're doing this work to think very positively, to say, here we are. We're the people who agree. We're the people who think this is a good idea. What can we do? What is a realistic change we could make? How can I personally be invested in this process? And I thank all of you for coming, and what a wonderful space. And thanks to Hope in Maine for allowing us to be here and inspiring us with their blackboards. I think it's wonderful. Thank you very much.
So we have Federal Food Benefits 101 over here. We have Farm to Food Pantry over here. We have You Are What You Eat, How Access Affects Health in the back corner. We have, what else do we have? Cooking on a Limited Budget over here. School Lunch Success Stories over here. And in the back, Cultural Food Traditions and how that affects access. So please go to your first table that you're interested in, and I will ring a bell when it's time to switch.
Nutrition education is a part of the benefits for people who receive SNAP benefits. So it's like another portion of it. It's providing nutrition education on how to eat on a limited budget. What can they do with stretching their food dollar? So we work in the schools, we work in preschools, we work with parents, we work with seniors, we work with employers, we do professional development for staff. So really a wide gamut of population in Rhode Island, all low-income population, mostly serving the 4 core cities, but anyone who meets the eligibility. And they just need to be eligible to come. They don't need to show us their SNAP cards or anything. It's just if they're within that population of the schools, perfect. That's fine. This is Trevor.
Trevor. I work at the Rhode Island Community Food Bank, so I teach nutrition to low-income families all around the state, so that's soup kitchens, pantries, and shelters. So any site that's one of our member agencies, they call, or I advertise, and they're like, hey, come over, help teach classes. We also do trainings to staff at these places as well.
And then we're going to do a game. So this is a game table. Like we're going to play games. Nutrition education is a part of the benefits for people who receive SNAP benefits. So it's like another portion of it. It's providing nutrition education on how to eat on a limited budget. What can they do with stretching their food dollar? So we work in the schools, We work in preschools, we work with parents, we work with seniors, we work with employers, we do professional development for staff. So really a wide gamut of population in Rhode Island, all low-income population, mostly serving the 4 core cities, but anyone who meets the eligibility. And they just need to be eligible to come. They don't need to show us their SNAP cards or anything. It's just if they're within that population of the schools, perfect. Eggs are in the protein group. We have the dairy group, which is for low-fat dairy products, so milk, cheese, and yogurt. And then fruits and vegetables. And fruits and vegetables are, you know, the emphasis is make half your plate fruits and vegetables.
In 2006 and 2007, Rhode Island passed a law, so that's legislatively through the General Assembly, for competitive foods to try to get all the junk food. So they developed nutrition criteria, and any food that was offered, so it would be in vending machines or in fundraisers that would be sold in schools or even in cart lines.
We do grow some American vegetables, just to be fit. Last few years we've grown about 9 different African vegetables.
One of our primary focuses is to grow organic and to donate at least 10% of everything we grow to the food bank.
So I learned firsthand a skill that I value and will value for the rest of my life, because I then became a single mom and I had to raise my son on a single income.
Looking on, you know, oh, what am I going to do with this much left over this and this much left over that, and what great meal can I make if I only could buy the ricotta cheese, right? You know, I mean, for some people that works, but it's not for everyone. And people also, I think, are afraid of different foods. And
It's definitely showing intimidation.
yeah, baby bok choy, you know, squashes that look ugly, you know, but they're wonderful things. So it's I think there's
It's something like 80%. So the problem is we hear from a lot of seniors who can't get the coupons. Like they go to their senior center and the coupons have run out.
To the country, I live in South County. We got millions of acres for them. How can poor people get to a community like that where they're